This is episode 211, Fat Loss versus Weight Loss. What's the difference? Welcome everybody to another episode here in Body and Mind Transformation by Custom Body Fitness. This is your health coach, Sandro Torres. And today we're going to be talking about the difference between fat loss and weight loss. Now, I know for some people it's very simple. For other people, it's difficult to grasp this concept. And I honestly don't know why for some people it's difficult. And the reason why I tell you this is because I had so many members that have lost like 10 pounds of fat or 20 pounds of fat. Let's say 10 pounds of fat, and the scale says they only lost 5 pounds. But they add up muscle, and with the body composition assessment, you can prove it in paper. And you can explain it clearly about the difference between fat loss and weight loss and how muscle gain works and so on. But so many people still discouraged because they don't see the scale moving faster. So it's very important for you to know the difference between fat loss and weight loss. I did everything I could to make the concept clear about fat loss and weight loss. So if you're lifting weights and you put in muscle, you really need to know the difference between one and the other. So we discussed that here. So without further introduction, let's listen to it. Welcome everybody to another talk here with your health coach, Sandro Torres. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between weight loss and fat loss. I have a lot of experience because I had many members. And honestly, it takes me a lot of time, especially for women, to help them understand what's the difference between one and the other. I can give you one example that I can remember right now. She was one of the members years ago, one of the first members we had when we opened. Probably we were open like 3 years by then, and we were in business for 3 years. And I remember she was between 2 or 3 months, so she started weighing 153, and then after 2 months, I'm guessing 2 to 3 months, she weighed 150. She got so discouraged. However, I did a body composition and I checked how much fat she was losing and how much muscle she was gaining. So the scale said that she weighed 153 in the beginning, and then the scale said that she weighed 150 after those months that she put a lot of hard work in her eating and also in her training. When I checked the body composition said that she lost 8 pounds of fat. I want you to think about that, 8 pounds. So really, the scale would have said that she probably weighed 145, but she gained 5 pounds of muscle. Therefore, the scale says only 3 pounds. The scale doesn't know the difference between putting muscle and get rid of the fat. Even though she was very happy the way her body was turning, her waist was smaller, her body was getting a little toner, and she liked the way she was looking. But somehow the scale says something different, and the only conclusions that she could make is that I'm not losing weight. And doesn't matter how much I explained that to her, how much fat she lost and how much muscle she gained. Even though I have some replicas that I show her, she couldn't understand, and she's still disappointed. I didn't know how to explain it to her. So for many of you, even though it's so easy to grasp the concept about weight loss and fat loss, I know psychologically you can see the difference. But let me try to do my best to explain it to you. Let's say you want to lose 5 to 8 pounds. And I come to you and I say, I'm going to cut one of your arms and one of your legs. And then you're going to be 8 to 10 pounds off. Will you let me do that? No, right? You want your arm and you want your leg. The weight loss doesn't matter if you lose your arm or your leg. So the same thing happens with regular weight loss. A lot of fats, a lot of diets, a lot of products, a lot of pills, injections, so on, don't get rid of the fat. There is muscle, there is water, there is all kinds of tissues such as the bone density. Also, carbohydrates that you have in your body retains water. Creatine retains water. So all that water that you retain is actually good for your body to do a lot of chemical reactions. You need that. You need water to digest. You need water because that's the way you use the energy. You need water to survive. So your body needs water. So once you start one of those diets or one of these easy or fast way to lose weight, you're probably gonna lose muscle, bone density, water, carbohydrates. That doesn't mean that you're losing fat. That means that you're losing weight. And you end up unhealthy once you lose that weight. You seem one of those persons like skinny fat because you still have a lot of fat. You're not losing fat. You unhealthy, you unattractive, and you seem weak and also sick. So weight loss is not the key. What matters is fat loss. You really want to focus on fat loss. And for you to be able to see the difference between fat loss and weight loss, don't focus on the scale. There is many ways that you can find your body composition. There is many methods. The one that I use is Skinfold, and it's somehow accurate, 2 to 3% off. So you need to find a way to measure how much fat you're losing and how much muscle you're gaining. Now, when you focus on the fat loss, you're gonna notice that your body's gonna start looking different because now the muscle tone that you have is gonna start showing more because the fat that you're getting rid of is uncovering that muscle. When people say, I lost weight, but this is kind of loose, or my stomach's still kind of flabby, I need to get rid of the skin, that's a lie. That's fat that you store right there. If you really want to look athletic, if you really want to look good, don't focus on weight loss. Focus on fat loss. And for you to be able to lose fat, what you need to do is start eating healthy. Don't follow any fads, don't follow any diets, don't take any pills, don't get surgery because by the end you're gonna gain that weight back in some of the areas of your body because you still have those old habits. They help you gain weight, and for you to be able to lose weight, you need to change those habits for habits that are gonna help you to lose fat. So therefore, what you want to do is change those habits. Start eating completely healthy. Start doing some cardio and do weightlifting for you to be able to gain muscle. As you lose fat, let's say you have 50 pounds of fat that you need to lose, or 60 pounds. You're going to increase 10 to 20 pounds of muscle. So if you have 60 pounds of fat to lose, when you get close to your goal, it's going to say that you lose 40 pounds on the scale, but you really have lost 60 pounds and put 20 pounds of muscle. And then your body's going to look attractive, athletic. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more strength. You're going to be younger. You're going to be happier. You're going to be confident, and you are going to have that desired body that you've been working for it. But that's the only way. If you only focus on weight loss, that's not going to deliver the results that you're really looking for. So what's the difference between weight loss and fat loss? Is the weight loss, you can lose anything. Doesn't matter if it's muscle, bone density, water, carbohydrates, or things like that. But that doesn't mean that you're looking healthy once again, or that you are healthy. Fat loss, you're gonna get rid of the fat but you're gonna keep your muscle, you're gonna keep your bone density, you're gonna keep those carbohydrates and that hydration, that water that you need for your body to function. You're gonna look healthier, you're gonna look brighter, you're gonna look better, more attractive and athletic. So that's the difference right there. I hope this talk opened your eyes to reality and understand that there is a difference between fat loss and weight loss. Now, keep something in mind. If you are overweight, 50, 60 pounds, even 40 or 30 pounds, the scale should move down. So a month you should be weighing less even though you are in muscle. If you lost 8 pounds of fat in a month, you're gonna add 2 pounds of muscle. The scale is gonna say that you went down 6 pounds. So not because you think that you're gaining muscle, the scale should not move when you are overweight. When you are closer to your fat, to your desired fat percentage, to a lower fat percentage, for example, men 11 and women 22%, the scale doesn't move much because the muscle that you're adding is actually the fat that you're losing. So the scale doesn't move as much as if you were overweight. So keep also that in mind. Hopefully you like this. Please share, comment, and like. Thank you so much. For now, your health coach Sandro Torres says bye. So there you have it. Don't focus on weight loss, first of all, because it's not healthy. Now, if you're gaining muscle, also don't focus on weight loss because you're gaining muscle. You really want to focus on fat loss. Make sure you have a way to measure your fat loss and your muscle gain. Understand the concept and don't be discouraged because the scale is not moving. If you are gaining muscle, the only way to find that out is by a body composition. If you are overweight, the scale should be moving. If you're not and you're closer to your fat percentage desired, the scale is gonna move a little. So don't confuse one with the other one and continue the hard work. Change your habits, eat healthy, exercise, lift weights, and wait patiently until your body transforms. That's it for today. Hopefully you like this episode. Please like, share, and give us a review. Support us so we can continue making these talks and also bringing great professionals who can give you different tips so you can continue with your weight loss journey, or I should say your fat loss journey. Thank you so much. For now, your health coach Sandro Torres says bye. Remember to stay close to God, mentally and physically healthy.